Hey, Keller Williams, Josh Abbott here today with Tech Tips Part 2. We are going to be cleaning up our contact lists and leveraging this lovely thing we call smart plans. This is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Let's get to it. Now in this one, since this is going to be a very easy smart plan to set up, I am going to walk through that smart plan just so you all can sort of see how we approach that. If you don't want to do the setup with me, I'm going to go ahead and add a marker here so you can go ahead and skip to the part where you actually activate that smart plan. All right, so let's kick it off. Let's get rolling. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, go to our smart plans. If you haven't explored this applet, I encourage you to mess around with it a little bit. You can't really hurt anything, can't break anything, so have fun. By default, it's going to show you the list of smart plans that you have downloaded from the library or smart plans that you have created. And if you want to look at the library, we have this top tab up here. When you're looking at these smart plans that we have here, I would just make sure that it's either a featured one of the Keller Williams ones, or be careful when you look at some of these top rated ones. The ones that have a lot of downloads and high reviews, you're probably going to be fine. But the ones that have 0 downloads and 0 reviews, just be a little bit careful on those. They haven't been necessarily vetted by peers, and they might be great, but they might require a lot of customization for them to function properly. But these top ones here are normally very applicable, very little customization you need to do, and they're just high quality smart plans. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and make our own high quality smart plan. So we'll click on the My Smart Plans tab, go to Create, and then we're gonna name this something. So I'm gonna call this one Contact Cleanup. And I'm just gonna put a test at the end there, just so I know it's a test smart plan. All right, so the basic way that this works is that this area on the left, it will be the workflow, and then this area on the right will be the tools we can add to that workflow. So I'd say the first thing for this one we want to do is actually create a task. So what's going to happen is that when we actually add contacts to the smart plan, we will have essentially this task pop up inside of our task list that is going to be related to a particular contact. So let's go ahead and punch some stuff in here. This is what I have here: review the contact information and tag that contact in as many ways you can think of: hobbies, family status, buyer, seller, etc. Archive contacts that are bad or unable to be completed. Those are contacts like, you don't want to be reaching out to, somebody's kid, or reaching out to your bank or something along those lines. Just remove contacts that aren't going to be able to provide you any value inside of your network. But then we also have this little bit, actually we're going to ignore that portion there. Cool. Now we're going to name this task Tag and archive contacts. I set this priority level as low or medium. I'm going to do low myself personally. Due today, and you can leave these default day and time the same. Nothing you have to do there. And then go ahead and hit the save button right here, that little checkbox. So this is going to be a task to remind you to clean up the contact data. So that's the first step, is we want to add information that we have. We want to tag them, archive them, mark them as a lead before we reach out to them and try to complete that contact record. And for our next task, we're going to send a text message. And this one here, you can do this manual, you can do it automated, but I'm going to put this as automated text. And I'm going to punch this in there, say, hey, I'm working on getting all my contacts updated, want to reach out and get a good email for you. Now, once again, this text message is going to be sent to all of our contacts that have a phone number but are missing an email. All right, and something that I'm going to do here is leverage something that we call merge fields. So I'm going to go ahead and type in hey with a comma, then a space, and then I'm going to put that contact first name. So if I were sending this to Marty, it would say, hey, Marty, X, Y, and Z. If I'm going to do, hey, contact first name, then I'm going to put agent first name, agent last name, and put a space between the two of those. From Keller Williams. Or you can leave that, put that wording however you want. But when I send this will read, hey, Marty, it's Josh Abbott from Keller Williams. I'm working on blah, 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 blah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and save that step there. And then the last thing that I want to do here is if I'm going to do an email reach out, it's going to be that same process. We're going to add that content there. and a hey. Where's the merge field? There it is. Contact first name. I don't need to tell them who I am. It's in my signature and all that jazz. So I'm just doing hey, comma, and then continue that message on there. And then we're going to save it. Subject. All right, so we have that contact update saved. We have a message, a body of our email set there, and then we're gonna hit that save button. So currently how the smart plan works is, first off, on the day this is launched, it is going to remind myself, the agent, to go ahead and tag the particular contact assigned, archive it, review it, whatever we need to do there. And then we'll send them a text message or attempt to send them a text message if they have a phone number, and then attempt to send them an email if they have an email. Now, the only thing we're kind of missing here is giving us time to review that contact information. So the way this is going to work is that this is going to fire off in the morning, and then immediately it's going to try to send a text, and immediately it's going to try to send an email. I want to give us a little bit of time in between, honestly a couple of days, so we can really go through and make sure we had the opportunity to clean up their contact information. So I'm going to go ahead and set this delay. I'm going to actually put it for 5 days. And then I want to move this up. Right now it's the last step here, so I'm going to move this up. Then we move it up. And then I'm going to move it up. Oops, sorry, I did one too many. So here we are, we have the create task. We have the delay, so it's going to wait 5 days, and then send a text, and then an email. And once again, that delay is just there so that you have time to go through and archive and tag that contact. Just in case you're on vacation or it's an extended weekend, you'll have time to do that. And that's pretty much it. This smart plan is looking good. I'm pretty happy with this one. So let's go ahead and save it up in that top right. Cool. All right, so welcome back to those of you that did not need to create the smart plan, and I guess you're still here if you did create the smart plan. What we're gonna do now is use that smart plan. So what I'm gonna encourage you all to do is a couple of things. The first thing, when we get to this, is we want to filter out and we wanna find all the contacts that we need to add to this smart plan. So that will be all of our contacts that are missing phone numbers or that are missing email addresses. What we're going to want to do here is hop into our contacts tab. If you have more than 500 contacts, well, we'll get to that in a second. Hit the show button right here and set this to 500 contacts. If you have more than 500 contacts, we're just gonna have to change essentially how many people we add to the smart plan per day, and we'll get to that in a moment. So what I'm gonna do here, we sorted those, we're showing all of them. We're going to set one of our advanced filters again. And we're gonna do where tag is test, which is my own personal filter. You will not have that. And then I'm gonna add primary email is empty. So where the primary email is empty, display these results. So we'll go ahead and hit apply. And I can see I have these 4 contacts here that are missing the email address. So I'll go ahead and select all of them to use our bulk action and add tag. So the tags that we want to use, one, I'm gonna have a contact cleanup for October of 23. That's so I know that I cleaned up these contacts into October. And then the second thing I'm gonna do is going to be the needs email. And if you don't have these tags ready in here, just hit the create tag button, type in needs email, hit create tag, and it will go ahead and make that for you. So let's go ahead and submit. And then we're gonna do that same thing, but for the phone numbers. So we're gonna change this filter from primary email down to primary phone number and switch this to is empty. So where primary phone is empty, display those results. And we have another list here. Select all, bulk action, tag, contact cleanup, needs phone, submit. So now we know exactly what all the information that we need for our contacts are. And I'm just gonna go ahead and reset the smart view. So now we can see all of those. Sorry, I gotta refresh. All right, so now we can see the ones that we added the contact cleanup tags to. I have 2 of them here or 3 of them here that we didn't have to clean up because they have a phone number and an email address. But the ones that we do need to clean up, let's go ahead and filter for those ones. So click that filters on button and then go down to our tags section over here. And I'm just going to search for contact cleanup, check the box, and apply. Oh, sorry, it's doing an OR command for those ones. So I'm going to click on this one. There we go. Sorry, I have both the test tag and the contact cleanup, so it's looking for either or, but we only want contact cleanup. All right, cool. So that was a lot of sort of organizing, filtering. The big thing is, for one, if you have more than 500 contacts, you're going to have to do that you might have to do that rather, for multiple pages, depending on how much missing information that you have. So once you've created those advanced filters that show the ones that are missing email address, just check and see if the limit is over 500 here. If it is 500, you're gonna have to select all on page 1, and then apply the tags, and then select all on page 2, and apply the tags, and so on. But if you have less than 500 contacts, or you don't roll over that 500 when you're filtering out contacts with missing information, you're gonna be all good to go. So what I wanna do here is select all of my contacts, use a bulk action, and we're going to add to Smart Plan. So if we see right here, we have that contact cleanup test. This is the one we just looked at. So we have the touch task that we added, that 5-day delay, an automated text, and an automated email. And we'll go ahead and select that. Now, right here, we can see, hey, we're missing phone numbers, we're missing emails on some of these, and actually I have 3 of them that don't have phone numbers or emails. That is exactly what we're looking for. Those contacts in particular should have been removed, or I should have manually reached out to try to figure out if I can get contact information for those individuals, because it doesn't do me any good to add them to a communication-based smart plan when I don't have any address information to send information to. But that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything if you run to this point, you see those, maybe loop back and archive those or edit those as you need to after this point. But we can see here, the other ones are missing phone numbers or missing emails, and that's perfectly fine to go ahead and add them to the plan anyway. Then it's going to still attempt to add them to both ends of the communication, both on email and text message, even if they're missing one of those. And then the last important thing, and then we're getting into good state here, is going to be staggering the start. So for these smart plans, I almost always encourage to check and make sure if the stagger start would help you out, because in a lot of cases, it is going to be very useful for you to use. So we'll go ahead and use that stagger start. And this is where I'm going to essentially determine how many contacts I want to clean up a day. I'm going to go ahead and set this up to 6, because that's the maximum that I have here. But I would say for normally 10 to 15, maybe 20 will be a good number for you. Each of these contacts will take normally less than a minute to clean up, so it's a relatively low time spent to make this happen. But once again, if you have a busy week or a busy weekend and you don't get to all of them that you should, I don't want you to be sitting here for hours on a Monday morning just trying to clean up your task list. So I'd aim a little bit low on this number, 10, maybe 15 for your maximum contacts per day. Now, word of caution to those of you that have more than 500 contacts that need to be cleaned up. If you have more than 500, let's say 501 to 900 or to 1,000 contacts, take your maximum contacts per day. Let's say you want to do 10 per day, and on the screen, set that to 5. Because you're going to do this to page 1, that first page of 500, and you're also going to do it on page 2, that second page of 500. So that means that essentially each additional time you have to go to a page past 500 contacts, you need to divide your contacts per day by that number. So essentially, if you have 1,500 contacts, you want to divide that number by 3. So do either 3 or 4 contacts per day for your cleanup. If you have 2,000 contacts, you're going to divide that number by 4. So that means you're going to do 2 or 3 contacts per day per page. Hope that wasn't too confusing, but it works out. All right, so for this one, I'm going to select all of them. We're going to do 6 of them and go ahead and hit that confirm button. So this is going to automatically fire off that smart plan. And as you remember, that first step in the smart plan was to create a task. So let's hop over to my task board and see if this is executed. And bingo, we see them right there. The task is to tag and archive the contact, and then we can see the individual contacts they belong to. So for this first one, I'm going to go ahead and hit this. And this is what you'll be doing when you sit down, check your emails, whenever you need to sort of work on cleaning up your database, or if you blocked off time for that. Click that test contact 1. I'm going to review this information. I'm looking at this and I'm like, Oh, I have no information. I don't know who is test contact 1. I have no idea. They haven't really interacted with any of our software before. I have nothing really to go on for them. This is a great contact to archive. It's meaningless, a meaningless contact. I can't get any value out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and archive this contact. And then we look back at our task board here. So it's test contact 1, and we'll mark as completed. Oh, sorry, it's because I archived the contact. They will disappear automatically if you archive them. But let's say we just went to the CSV test contact here, and then I wanted to hop in here and add a phone number or whatever that may be. I'll punch in something random there and save and go. And then we'll hop back to this task list right here, check that box, and that is removed from the list. And let's say on this one here, we want to tag them. We want to add some tags to the person. Same sort of thing. We're going to edit, move this big old tag section down here. So let's say they are an art enthusiast. That's a tag I want to add to them. Save that, go back into our contact sheet, hit that check mark, and we're good to go. And it's a very easy process of cleaning up contacts like that. Literally, it's going to take a couple minutes every day to do that. And you can very quickly get good data in your contact database. It's hugely important to get that info right. All right, well, that's what I have for you all today. Hopefully this was helpful. Take the time, once again, to look at your contact data, to get your tags in there, to mark your leads, get your phone numbers, get your email addresses. That's what you need to be able to perform actions with your contact database. Well, I hope this is really helpful. I hope you all have an awesome week, an awesome weekend, or whatever. I guess you have one or the other. All right, that's what I have for you all today. I hope that was useful. I certainly learned a lot, honestly, by teaching this lesson to you all. I really hope you can find action in this lesson here. And as always, you know where to find me if you have any questions or if there's anything else you want to learn about. In the meantime, I hope you all have an awesome day, week, month. I hope you have an awesome life, truly. Take it easy. I'll talk to you next time.